Yeah, hi there, this is tuxoch.com again. Welcome on my video channel. This video should be under the motive or theme all good things come in threes. You may remember my post about the Wavelink Thunderbolt 4 dock, which I once bought, and also about the Thunderbolt 5 dock from Ugreen, about which I made a video. I linked this video here in the video description. The problem with the Wavelink dock was that you could connect the monitors via DisplayPort or HDMI, but the whole story only worked when the DisplayLink drivers were installed. But this had the consequences that on my 4K LG monitor, the scaling didn't work properly, and then the fonts and so on were displayed much too small. The next attempt with the Thunderbolt 5 dock, so only a relatively expensive dock, also went wrong. This were appropriate Thunderbolt 5 ports are available, but I need one for the connection to the MacBook. For each monitor I needed another Thunderbolt 5 connection again, and then the bottom line, only one Thunderbolt 5 port remained free. So I had no profit on the MacBook Pro because I could also connect my LG monitor via USB-C, my Dell monitor via HDMI, and I also could connect a USB 4 drive via the free port in my case. So I really didn't get anything from that expensive dock. By chance I came across some reviews for the Ivanky 20-in-1 Fusion 1 dock, and that interested me very much. And I then ordered it, and I did not regret it so far. I still have the dock. But let's unpack the part first. Okay, here we got the package, the Ivanky dock. The package is pretty beautiful with a lot of foil on it. Okay, and then here we got the dock itself, and under that we got two sets for the cables, one for the power cable and USB cable, and the other one is the massive power brick. That's a really big thing. Okay, here we got the dock itself. Okay. As we could see, there are really many ports on this device installed. We will go into the individual ports in a moment. What may already be criticized is that the Ivanky dock comes with a, yes, you almost have to say, huge power supply, which explodes all the biggest ideas because the brick of the power supply is practically as big as the dock itself. But let's take a look on the connection ports. Okay, here we got the Ivanky dock from the front side. The design of the dock is that you can place it like this, flat on a table. Okay, the focus is irritated. Or you can place it like in portrait modus, if you like, in which fits your setup the most. Okay, here we got the connectors. Here we got Thunderbolt connectors, which could be used for additional monitors if you like, but I used that for my Thunderbolt 4 enclosure, which I already did a video on. Here on top you got two USB-A 10 gigabit per second connectors, and the same here with the USB-C connectors. They will also provide power delivery up to 15 watts, I think. And here we got the SD card reader and a mini SD card reader, so you might as well don't need a adapter if you want to read your micro SD cards, like from a drone, or here my Osmo Pocket, for example. And here we got a combination for either microphone and headset, but I use it for my headset as well. Okay, let's go to the back. here we got another whole bunch of connectors. Here we got 3 USB-A 10 gigabit per second connectors. Here we got a outgoing connector for your loudspeaker, if you like. Here we got a 2.5 gigabit LAN connector. And now here we got the interesting. Here's the upstream connector to the MacBook Pro with the double cable. And you can either connect now 2 monitors here with USB or Thunderbolt 4, I guess, or you can connect with HDMI, and depending on your silicon chip which is built in your MacBook Pro, you might as well even connect up to 4 monitors, but then you have to check the description if that works for you. And here, last but not least, we have the power connector, and here a security connector like a Kensington lock for lockage, which of course I don't use. There are really enough connections available. I have downstream ports, and I also have the ports as Thunderbolt ports, also executed for the monitors, so that problems with the scaling and so on are not to be expected. But I still have enough fast Thunderbolt 4 ports left, both at the back and especially at the front, to connect 1 or 2 drives, for example. In addition, there are still regular 10 gigabit USB-A or USB-C ports available here, so that I can, for example, connect my microphone, my Elgato Stream Deck, mouse and keyboard if I absolutely want to. And despite all of this, I still have connections left over. The Ivanky is really a win and runs perfectly even with 2 monitors, and I also have no problems with the scaling. I do not use the network connection with the 2.5 gigabit per second, by the way, also relatively rare on those docks here, because I have a 5 gigabit adapter USB-C, which I plug into the USB-C on the back. Overall, I'm very satisfied with this dock, and I also do not bother me, which is sometimes criticized, that the Ivanky dock there, I now call it Thunderbolt double cable, which makes the downstream connection to the MacBook Pro. On the other hand, we have a kind of double plug, which then fits exactly into the 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports that are present on the MacBook Pro and also on the MacBook Air. In short, I have a mass of connections, and I don't feel restricted in any way. The only thing you might notice now is that it's only Thunderbolt 4. But since I don't have any Thunderbolt 5 devices, that shouldn't bother me at all. And in general, you can also say whether a file is copied in, say, 3 or 5 seconds or 6 seconds. It really doesn't bother me much. And for 4K or even 6K editing, the speed of the drives is sufficient enough. Already be at the sore point that, of course, with the large number of connections, a Thunderbolt 4 case does not reach the speed it reaches when you connect a Thunderbolt 4 drive, for example, directly to the MacBook to a Thunderbolt 4 or rather Thunderbolt 5 port. I think such a limitation is you have to live with it, but speeds that are reached here are still more than sufficient for video editing, image processing, and so on. The device can handle the heat development well. I say once under load it gets pretty warm, but not yet hot. So you can assume a good cooling here with the full metal case of the Ivanky Fusion dock. In the article description of the Ivanky Fusion dock, it is also mentioned that it is MacBook Pro or MacBook Air only because of the connection. But if you really want to give it a try, I tried it with my Windows 11 PC. With such extension cables, however, you need 2 of them. You can also connect the device to a Windows 11 PC and 2 USB-C ports. And there, too, it works perfectly. That means that the access to all connections, external drives, microphones, Stream Deck, and so on work perfectly. What I could not try, since I don't have Thunderbolt ports on my Windows 11 PC, whether this also works with the Thunderbolt 4 speed, but I reach here at least the 10 gigabit per second, which means in terms of drive speed around 1000 megabyte per second, which I think is pretty much enough. Okay, that was my little experience report on the Ivanky Fusion 1 dock. And if you have any questions, you might place them in the comment section here of the video or in the comment section of the corresponding blog post. And if you think that this video was a little bit helpful to you, you might consider placing a like on the video. And I would appreciate even more if you consider subscribing my channel. That would help the channel a lot, but don't forget to hit the bell so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Okay, that was my experience report on the Ivanky Fusion 1 dock, and all I have to say is till the next time, ciao, Tux Oche.